Hello, how are you dear viewers? Today we are going to discuss about a great motivation story from the Mahabharatam. This story make you very strong, help to you heal from problems. Okay, let's start. Among all the species of life, human birth is very rare and important. In Śānti-parva of Mahabharata, chapter 180, the great devote Bhīsma, one of the 12 Mahajanas, tells King Yuḍhisthīra a story to show the significance of its importance. He described that long ago there was a very austere brahmana named Kasyapa. He was very religious and had an introverted disposition. Once when he was walking, a proud Vaishya came from the opposite side, riding on a chariot. Being intoxicated by his wealth, this Vaishya disregarded the Brahmana and knowingly threw him off the road by hitting with his chariot. The Brahmana was hurt not only physically but also emotionally. He felt very humiliated and thought that was because he was poor. His life was a waste. He had no caliber for or interest in earning wealth. Yet he realized that people give no respect to Brahmana like him. Being frustrated, he decided to commit suicide. When Indra understood the intention of the Brahmana, he took pity on him. To instruct him, he appeared in the form of a jackal and began instructing the dejected Brahmana. The jackal spoke to him as follows: O Brahmana, all living being aspires to attain a human body, and among human beings, the body of Brahmana is very precious worthy. You are not only a human being, but also a Brahmana. On top of that, you have studied the Vedas. Having attained such a rare opportunity, it is highly improper to consider its worthless and plan to commit suicide. I consider the human birth was very fortunate because I wish to have that myself. Just as a human being aspires for wealth, we animals wish to have hands. We do not consider any other gain superior to having hands. O Muni, many times while wandering in the forest, the thorns from bushes get stuck in our body. We feel great pain, but because we don't have hands, we are unable to pull off them out. Similarly, flies, mosquitoes, fleas, and other such insects bites our body, and we have to just tolerate it. Not having hands, we are unable to produce houses as humans do, to protect us from heat, cold, rain, and hailstorm. We cannot sew clothes to cover our bodies, nor can we eat properly. Sometimes sharp grass pierces our cheeks and gums, and we suffer greatly. Human beings can domesticate animals, use them for plowing land, for traveling them in cart. They can ride on them and thus enjoy, while we have no such facility. Even while suffering like this, I do not commit suicide, knowing it well to be a very sinful act. I know that by committing suicide, I will glide down into an even lower species of life. You should realize how fortunate you are, because you have this most rare form of human being. You are limiting because of poverty, but you must know that wealth alone cannot give happiness. In this human body, you have the gift of intelligence. You should use your intelligence not for earning wealth, but to become enlightened. If one does not work for spirituality improvement, then one is misusing the human form of life. Ultimately, one will be born in subhuman species. You may also know that even among human beings, there are some who are handicapped, some are blind, others are deaf or lame. But you, O Brahmana, have a healthy and a complete body. You should use it for becoming free from materialistic conditions. then you do not have to suffer in humiliation from rich or proud peoples. Material happiness, suffering comes as the outcome of one's past karma. Tolerate it and practice devotion to God assiduously. In my past life, I was a human being and proud of my intelligence. I used to argue with Brahmanas and criticize the Vedas. I had no respect for the scriptures and considered the empirical experiences and logical as a supreme source of the knowledge. Considered empirical experiences and logic as a supreme source of knowledge. I was atheistic and foolish, but thought of myself as a learned and wise man. As a result of such a behavior, I have been born as a jackal now. In this jackal body, I cannot engage in any scriptural study or devotional practice. I very much aspire to be born as a human being, but that is not within my control. When Kashyapa Muni heard these words of the jackal, he was very astonished. By the eye of wisdom, he could then understand that this jackal was Indra. He paid respect to him and thanked him for this wonderful advice. Thus the Brahmana gave up the idea to commit suicide and went to the forest to meditate on God. This is a simple story that shows the superiority of the human body with respect to the hands. But as a human being, we have much more capabilities in the form of speeches and discriminating faculty. We should not undermine these faculties, but we should utilize them for the ultimate purpose of life. According to Srimad Bhagavan Puran, which is the latest and topmost work of Sri Vedavyasa, the purpose of life is to know the absolute reality and Tattva Jignasa, and not just strive to accumulate wealth throughout one's life. Thank you.